Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Today I have a declutter to do with you guys. So I'm going to be decluttering all of my eyeshadow palettes that are not like high-end palettes. So these are all of like the drugstore eyeshadow palettes and like palettes like that are from like online but that are more affordable. So before I start into this declutter, let me start with a little disclaimer. So you're going to see me get rid of quite a few palettes in here. And the reason why is because I have, not really all of a sudden, but finally realized that I want quality over quantity. Before it was the opposite. Honestly, I wanted just a lot of palettes. I wanted to collect everything. It was kind of like Pokemon. You got to catch them all. I was wanting every palette I could get my hands on. Now I've learned that I don't really want to live that way. I want to have palettes that I truly love, so I'm going to start my declutter collection for my eyeshadows, starting with my drugstore eyeshadow palettes because they're just a little bit easier to kind of let go of because you didn't spend quite as much as them as you do on the ones that you purchase from, say, Sephora. So I wanted to kind of throw that disclaimer in there. Also, these palettes, I am not going to be giving them away to anybody like specific. So I am going to be actually selling most of these palettes onto my Poshmark because I do have a Poshmark. A lot of these palettes are gently used and some of them probably never used, to be honest with you. So I'm not going to lie and say that I've used all of these palettes because I haven't. So I'm going to start this declutter, and then if you guys are interested in any of these palettes and you want to purchase any of them, I will have them linked in my we'll have my Poshmark linked so that you can purchase any of them. I will have them super affordable. They will be very affordable, don't worry, because I'm not trying to make any money off of them. I just want to kind of make sure that they're going to someone who's actually going to use them more than I have, because obviously you're going to see from a lot of these, they're not quite used. I mean, they're barely used, barely touched. So let's get started before I keep rambling. So the first thing is this Ofra. This is the Professional Makeup Eyeshadow Palette. This one is called it's just called the Magnetic System. So it does have a little mirror in here, and I purchased this one actually straight from Ofra. I actually really do like this one. I like the colors in here. I think the colors are very, very pretty. I think they're very bright and bold. They blend on the eyes very well. So this is a palette I'm actually going to keep. I like the way this one works, and you can see that I've actually tried this one quite a few times. I'm going to hold on to that one. Let me move some things around so I have a place to stack the palettes that I'm keeping. The next one is the BH Cosmetics. This is the Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies palettes. It's an eye and cheek palette. BH Cosmetics can be found at Ulta and also online. So here's what it looks like on the inside. To be honest with you guys, I tried this palette one time and then I was just not in love with it. I just don't love the colors. I don't love the color combination. I don't think that they're great, that great of eyeshadow. So I'm actually going to take this one out of my collection. So I'm going to set that one down. The next one is the BH Cosmetics, again, that can be found at Ulta. This one specifically, I know you can find at Ulta. This is the Carly Bible palette. It's the original one that they came out with. I know she's got a newer one now. Here's what the palette looks like on the inside. You are getting some cheek products as well as eye products. This one is one that I barely played with, but I've heard such great things about it that I don't want to declutter it yet because I think that this is something I could actually use more if I just tried harder. So once I get rid of some of these, I probably will be able to try a lot more of these out. The next one is the NYX Butt Naked Eyes palette. So this one actually I know I really do like. I haven't tried it a whole lot, but the times I have tried it, I've liked it. These are the eyeshadows you get in here, and then if you open the bottom part here, this one's hard to open. Especially with, oh, I just dropped all the little applicators all over the floor. Awesome sauce. So wait a minute, there you slide the bottom part, and then you get some more products down here. You're getting cheek products and highlighter products. You get a bronzer. I actually really do like this palette, so I'm going to hold on to this palette as well. NYX is a brand that I actually really do like. I like most of the products I've tried from NYX. There are a few exceptions. So the next one is this Eyes, Lips, Face palette. This is called there's no name on it actually. This is like an all-in-one type of palette. Again, it does have a bunch of eyeshadows in here. The eyeshadows are very pretty. And then the applicator, as you can tell though, look, this palette has barely been played with. I might have touched it once or twice. And then the bottom here, you are getting some more products in here. The lip products I have never even touched. The blush products, I think maybe I've touched them just a little bit, nothing major. So this is another palette that I'm actually going to be decluttering from my collection. Need to start stacking these here. The next one is the NYX Butt Naked Underneath It All palette. So this is another really amazing palette because this is another one that's like an all-in-one palette. The colors in this one really call to me. I have only tried this one barely at all, so this is another one that I need to play with more. This color right here keeps calling my name because I think that color is beautiful. That's like the color that everybody's looking for right now, that orangey tone. And then of course this one does the same thing where the bottom slides out and you are getting some cheap products in here. So again, this is another one I'm going to keep in my collection because I really do like that one. The next thing is the Makeup Revolution. This is the Redemptions eyeshadow palette. This is the Iconic 3. So it's kind of like a Urban Decay Naked palette. I have the Urban Decay Naked palette, so I don't need to keep this. I don't need to do any comparisons for this. If I need to compare anything, I will compare it to the Urban Decay Naked palette. So this one, barely even touched, guys. Look. So it may have been swatched a little bit, but that's about it. So this one is actually leaving my collection. The next one is the NYX. This is the NYX Dreamcatcher palette. So here's what it looks like. It's a very nice looking palette, but this is another one that I played with a little bit and then I was not sure if I loved it or not. So I think I'm going to try this one out again because I know I do enjoy this product colors. I mean, this type of colors. So I'm going to hold on to this one, but this one may end up leaving my collection as well. The next one is the Makeup Revolution. This is the Redemption eyeshadow palette in the Romantic Smoked. So here's what it looks like on the here's what it looks like on the inside. The colors, again, of course, are similar to like a naked palette. And again, this was barely even touched. I'm going to sell this on my Poshmark as well. So I'll probably put like brands together, like do all of the Makeup Revolutions together, something like that when I do my sale on my Poshmark. The next one is the Makeup Revolution. This is the Redemption eyeshadow palette in the Iconic 2. Again, barely touched, but again, you can tell it's like a dupe for a naked palette. And since I already have, like I said, all of the naked palettes, I don't need to keep these. There's no reason for me to hold on to these. So I'm going to pass that one along as well. The next one, and this one has never been touched. This is the Redemption eyeshadow palette Essentials Mattes. So these are all matte shadows. So here's what it looks like on the inside. The colors are very, very pretty. But again, not going to hold on to it because I have all the naked palettes and it's silly to hold on to all of these and they're never being used. They're just sitting in my collection for no reason. The next thing is the Jessie's Girls Backstage Collection. I know I've heard a lot of people say they don't like this palette, but I actually do enjoy this palette. I think it's very nice. I think the colors are very pretty. So this is something I'm actually going to hold on to because I like it. I think it's nice. The next thing is the limited edition. This is the Makeup by One Direction palette. And whoops, I almost took it apart here. It does come with some cream type of products inside of here as well as eyeshadow products. Since there are cream products that I know I have touched in here, I'm not going to sell this on my Poshmark. I'm actually just going to pass this along to one of my nieces, or my niece. No, I don't have one of my nieces. I'm going to pass it along to my niece because it's not something I know that I will use enough to be able to hold on to. It was more one of those things that I saw it and I was like, hey, it's on sale and it looks cute, so grab it. Now it was like, what am I going to do with it? So I'm going to pass it along to my niece. The next thing is the M Cosmetics. This is the Michelle Phan palette, and of course this has cream products in it as well. And since there aren't cream products in here, that I really don't feel comfortable trying to sell this. So this is what it looks like. This is her Life palette. Ooh, I think it's called the Life palette. I have no idea. It's just a big giant palette. But to be honest with you, I don't really love it. Ooh, that's a cool little tool though. I might hold on to that tool for depotting things. So here's what it looks like on the inside. It's very pretty and everything, but honestly, I don't use it. It's so ginormous. Like, this is huge, guys. Like, this is bigger than my head. I don't use this, so I'm going to pass that along to my niece as well. The next one is the J-Cat Beauty. This is the Sunset Boulevard palette. You guys know when I did my review of the Urban Decay Naked Heat palette, I told you guys this is pretty much a dupe for it. And it is. I stand behind my word for that. This is a dupe for the Naked Heat palette. I do have the Naked Heat palette, but I actually kind of like this one better. I think it looks better. Works for me. The next thing is a Jessie's Girl. This is a Jessie's Girl makeup collection. There is no name for this. This is just a bunch of bright colors in here. I'm going to pass this along because I do have the Urban Decay Spectrum palette, and that's, to me, it's similar. And the colors in here are good, but they're not spectacular. The next thing is a little palette. This is an Ulta Beauty palette. Oh my gosh, it's making a mess. This is a little Ulta Beauty. This is, I don't even know what it's called, but these colors are very, very gorgeous on the eyes, especially the center color right here. That is beautiful on the eyes. I'm going to hold on to this one because I actually really do like that. The next one, these are some products I haven't tried yet, so these are products I know I want to try. These are the Beauty Treats Modern Mattes. So these are the ones that everybody says are similar to the Viseart palettes. So I have this one right here, which is a bright color one. It's called the, I don't think there's a name. Sombras? I have no idea. They're all Sombras. What the heck? Are there no names on these? Awesome Sauce. That is awesome. I have no idea. So we have a bright, we have a more regular shades here. And then I also have this one here. This one, when I got it, it was broken already. So that was unfortunate. I tried to email the company and let them know it was broken. And they were like, pretty much tough titty is what they pretty much told me. And I'm like, thanks. Then we have these, oh, they're on the names here. Nudes. So this is the nudes. This is the modern mattes, and then this one's the modern mattes as well. So and then this one's the smoky. So I want to try all of these out to see if they are anything like the Viseart palettes. I've just put them away and kind of forgot about them. So now that I remember them, I can try them and see if they actually have any sort of comparison. The next thing is an Elf palette. This is called the Festive palette. So this is what it looks like. Oof. This is what it looks like on the inside. I have never touched any of the cream products in here. I don't think I've touched anything in here, to be honest with you, at all. Nope, I haven't. So this one is actually going to be on my Poshmark for sale because I don't use it, obviously, and it's been in my collection for a little while, so it's time to see if I can find it a new home. It's not old or anything, so I know that it's still good. It just needs to get passed along and moved out of my collection. The next thing is another Eyes, Lips, Face palette. This is called the Assorted. Awesome. So these are a bunch of blushers at the top, blushers and bronzer. Whoa, holy smokes. And then at the bottom, as you can tell, this does pop out. And then you get a bunch of eyeshadows. I'm going to hold on to this one because I really do like how compact this is. You get a whole sheet of blushers and bronzers, and there's no highlighters in there. But then you also get all your eyeshadows in here. I think this is a pretty cool e.l.f. palette. I don't think that they sell this anymore, but I feel like it's so compact that you're getting so much stuff in here. Actually, I don't know. Do you know what? I'm not going to use this. I'm going to pass it along. So we'll see if it goes in my Poshmark or if I pass that to my niece. I'm not sure which. Now we have the Maybelline, the Nudes palette. I barely even touched this, guys. I may have tried it one time. I don't enjoy it, to be honest with you guys. It's not my favorite. So this is something else that's going to get either passed along or put into my Poshmark. Then we have the Jessie's Girl. This is the Backstage Favorites, and this one's in the Sound of the City collection. So here's what it looks like on the inside. Now this one, I can say that I don't love this one as much as I love the other Jessie's Girl. So this one actually I'm going to get rid of. Then we have a Ulta palette. This is the Ulta Beauty. There's no name on this palette. I have no idea what it actually is. It is lightly used, but to be honest with you guys, I don't love this palette. I think it's just okay. It kind of reminds me of the Kat Von D. There's a Kat Von D palette that has that green shade that's very similar. So I'd rather use my Kat Von D versus that. Then we have all the Revealed palettes. So I have the Revealed 3D, the Revealed Smoky, the Revealed, I think this is the original, and then the Revealed 2. So I have all of the Revealed palettes, and these are all dupes for the Urban Decay Naked palette. So if you are someone who wanted the Urban Decay Naked palettes and you didn't want to pay the price tag of those, these are very comparable. They're not exact dupes, but they're very comparable. Let me show you what the colors look like. Here is the Urban Decay, the Revealed 3D palette. So they still have their little plastic inserts. These are barely used, and again, because I have the Urban Decay palettes, I'm not going to keep any of these. These are actually going to be taken out of my collection as well. So I'm going to probably sell these in like a little set. So this is the Revealed Smoky. So there's what it looks like. And then we have the Revealed, the original. So here's what it looks like. Oops, see, I'm losing little plastic things. You can tell I've barely used any of these though, so. And then we have the Revealed 2. This one actually is the prettiest one of all of them in my opinion. But again, because I have all of the Naked palettes, I'm not keeping any of these. They are leaving. Now we're down to a, sorry guys. We have a, I was trying to laugh because it looks like I have a MAC palette in here, but it's not even a MAC palette. Oh my gosh, I just dropped one. These are all, I think they're Coastal Scents eyeshadows. I've popped them all in here, so I'm actually going to sell this as well because I don't need these shadows. I don't love these shadows. I pretty much only did this because I was like excited to start building a palette using the MAC palette. I'm going to sell the shadows and this entire palette together, or I'm going to take all these shadows out and sell them like just in one little chunk and keep the palette. I don't know, but either way, these will be on my Poshmark and the little MAC palette. Okay, now we have, whoops, what do we have here? We have the Crown palette. This is the 26 shade professional contouring palette. This is something that you can tell that I've barely used, and honestly, I'm not going to use it, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this out of my collection as well. It's just not calling to me. I like that purple shade in there, but the rest of them, I feel like I can dupe this out of my collection. And like I said, I would rather have quality over quantity, and Crown is an okay brand. It's not the best brand. Then we have a Morphe palette. This is the Morphe, the 35N palette, and it looks like this. This one I've barely used as well, but I actually am going to hold on to this one because I am starting to like a lot of the Morphe products. And this is one that I don't feel like I gave a good enough opportunity to figure out if I wanted to keep it or not. So I'm going to try this one out a little bit more. Then we have the Coastal Scents Warm palette. This is the 88 palette. These little pans are so stinking tiny. They're so little. Let me show you how tiny these are. Look how small they are. That might be good for palette bingo though. I might try to, I just dropped the thing. This might be a good one to do palette bingo with. But the, oh, it wasn't even a shadow. These fell out. That is awesome. Great. So I'm going to try to do a palette bingo with this. Even though the shadows are very similar in shade, I think it might be a good one to do the palette bingo with. So that heard him fall again. Awesome. Stay in there. Then I have a random little, it's a bunch of little different things in here. This is an Ofra Z palette. Not really a Z palette, but I don't know what they call theirs. But these are a bunch of things that I got from So Schwa. So these are all like little deluxe size samples and things. I just stuck them in here. I'm going to hold on to this because obviously I'm not sure this would have any value to anybody else other than me. So I'm going to hold on to it. Then we have an Eyes Lips Face palette. Again, this one has never been used. Well, no, I'm lying. It has. The colors have been used, but the cream products have never been used. But this one might be a really good one for palette bingo too. What do you guys think? Let me know if you think I should do palette bingo with this one. That one's super bright and bold. That one might be fun to do palette bingo with. So I'm going to hold on to that one. Then I have some Wet n Wild shadows. I have the Wet n Wild. This is the, where is the name of these at? The Coming in Latte. So this is the Coming in Latte palette. So here's what it looks like. This one, again, it looks kind of like the Urban Decay Naked palette, so I'm not going to hold on to this. This one is actually going to be taken out of my collection. Then we have this one is the Quartz Center. Now this one, I have nothing like this, so I'm going to hold on to this one because look at the colors in here. They're very, very pretty. Actually, I think I have a palette from Kat Von D that's similar to this. I might have to check. If I do have one that's very similar, I'm going to hold on to the Kat Von D and not hold on to that one. Then I have an Elf Baked Eyeshadow Palette. I'm not huge on baked eyeshadows. If I'm going to get baked eyeshadows, I want the Laura Geller ones. These just don't really work that well for me, so this is another one that's going to leave my collection. Then I have another baked eyeshadow palette. This one is in Seattle. That one was, what was this one? Texas. So we have Texas, and this one is Seattle. Again, I'm just not huge on these because I feel like they're just a little bit more difficult to work with, so that one is leaving my collection as well. Then I have another little, this is a super cute palette. I remember Samantha Riley, she's the one who talked about this, and I was like, I really want that, so I had to go grab it. So here's what it looks like. You get multiple layers. You get a little layer of eyeshadow, flip it, you get a little layer of lip products plus a mini mascara. Oh, get back in there. Oh my gosh, I'm losing things, guys, and then it's not wanting to go anywhere. Get back in here, guys. Stay. Okay, and then the bottom layer is your little blushers, but you see how tiny they are? But this is perfect just to throw in your purse, to be honest with you. So I'm going to hold on to this one. Plus, it always makes me think of Sam. If you guys have ever watched Samantha Riley, then you're probably like, yeah, she's pretty cool. She's funny. Then I have a hard candy palette. This is the Natural Eyes palette. I saw Jam Beauty 89. I think that's her name. She did a review on this saying that it was a really good palette and everything. I think she liked it. I'm pretty sure she did. It was kind of close to a Too Faced palette. But again, because I have the Too Faced palette, I'm not holding on to this. Then I have this giant monster palette. So this is an L palette. So this is so big. Whoa, holy smokes, guys. So this one actually comes with little handles so that you can hold it like this. Now come on. Is that totally necessary? This is called the Beauty Showcase. L is sold at Kohl's. So when you open it up, you get all of these eyeshadows, and then this slides. And then you get lip products. I'm pretty sure I've never touched any of the lip products. And then you get more lip products. And then you get eye products. Look, do you see how, look, let me see if I can turn this a different way so you can see how everything that's in here. Plus, when you flip this right here, wait, let me try to flip this. Oh my gosh. When you flip this right here, you get a mirror and blushes. Do you see how big and ginormous this is? I really don't think I need this. This is like would take up your entire vanity space. So I'm actually going to get rid of this as well. This is going to leave my collection. because I don't use it and it's just so big. I may end up just passing this on to my niece because she might love it. I don't know. It's going to go though. If you guys are interested in it, let me know because then I'll throw it into my Poshmark. Okay. Now we have some L'Oreal palettes. We have the L'Oreal Palette Nude 2 and the L'Oreal Palette Nude 1. Now actually, just because I do have the Naked palettes and I keep saying, well, I have the Naked palettes, I don't want to keep those, blah, blah, blah. However, these I am keeping because I feel like they're good. These are very nice. I like the way that they look on the eyes. And just in case I want to travel with something that I'm not worried about it getting broken during travel, these are great. So this is that was the Palette Nude 2. This is the Palette Nude 1. I really do like these. I think they had a little bit of controversy, I think, when they first came out, but I really like them. I think they're nice. So I'm going to hold on to both of those because, like I said, when I want to travel with something that I'm not worried about it getting broke during like the shuffle and bustle of traveling, that's what I'll take with me. Then I have an Ulta palette. I have no idea what this is called, but there's a little Ulta palette. It has a bunch of different colors in here. This is something else that I'm going to actually get rid of out of my collection just because I don't think that I will use it enough to keep it. So she's leaving. Okay, now we have a few Revlon palettes. We have the Revlon Not Just Nudes. Again, these are actually not shabby, but I'm not keeping these because I feel like they are very similar to the Naked palettes. And if I'm going to use something that's similar to the Naked palettes, I will use the L'Oreal ones. I don't like these as much. This is the Not Just Nudes right here. What is this one called? Just the Not Just Nudes? Is that what it's called? Yep. So this one is actually leaving my collection as well as the other one. This is the more... it's got a little bit of purples and stuff in here, so this one's leaving my collection as well. A lot of these, like I said, they were swatched or maybe used once, and that's it out of the set. So I'm going to put them in Poshmark and then just kind of make a good deal, like put them as for a good price and get rid of them. Then I have this little palette right here. This is the Teeny Beauty Cocktail Inspired Cosmetics. This is a cosmetic brand that I purchased this off of Ipsy Deals. And I've played with this and it actually is very nice. So here's what it looks like on the inside. The colors are very, very pretty. So I'm actually going to hold on to this. I don't know if this is I don't even know where you can purchase this at. Other than Ipsy Deals. I have no idea, but I really do like this one. So I'm going to hold on to that. Then we have, holy smoke, sorry guys, that was super loud. Just threw them all throughout my little drawer here. Then I have a bunch of Elf palettes. This is the Mad for Matte palette. So here's what it looks like. These are actually very, very nice. Again, this is another one I'm going to keep, even though I do have the Nakeds. This one's a really nice one. I'm going to hold on to that. Then I have the Smoke palette. So this is the ones that are like a little bit shimmery. I don't love these, so these are leaving my collection. I have not tried them in a while. Prism palettes is what these are called. So here, that was the purplish one. Here's the more goldy tone ones. And then we have also the Sunset. So the goldy tone was called Naked, Smoke, and then this one is Sunset. So Sunset looks like this. They're all very, very pretty, but I just don't love them enough to be able to keep them. So we're leaving. Oh my gosh, I'm running out of space, guys. Okay, so that one sits there. Let me grab it. We're getting down to the nitty gritty, guys. Alright, so now we have these two palettes here. These are the W7 palettes. This one is the In the Nude and this one is the Lightly Toasted. These, to be honest with you guys, other than the 10 packaging and everything, they look very similar to the Naked palettes, but I don't love these whatsoever. I think these are good if you're just like maybe beginning in makeup and everything like that. But I'm not keeping them because I don't love them. They're not something that I absolutely have to keep, so they're going to leave my collection as well. Now we have the Crown Pure Exposed palette. So this one looks like this on the inside. Whoops, I just lost the brush. This is actually a pretty decent palette from Crown. So if you are interested in the Naked palette and you don't want to pay the price tag for the Naked palette, this is actually pretty good. So, but I'm not keeping it because it's too similar to the Naked palette and I don't need another one because I've kept the L'Oreal and I've kept the Elf. So now we have the Pure Cosmetics, the Buff collection. Here's what it looks like. This is one that came in like a boxy charm. This one is always so hard to open. This one's like the rosy shades. This one I've swatched a few times and it's fine. And I will sanitize all these products too. That's the other thing I want to let you guys know. All of these will be sanitized, but this one is going to get sold on my Poshmark as well because I don't play with it. Then I have a old palette. So this one is actually going to be tossed. This is a Victoria's Secret palette. I'm not even sure how long ago Victoria's Secret sold makeup, so here's what it looks like on the inside. So this one is going to be tossed, I think, out of my collection. Let me swatch a couple here. They're not bad. Let's see. No, they're not that great either. So they're gonna get, that's gonna get tossed out of my collection. That's not even staying anywhere. It's going to go bye-bye. Then I have another Pure Cosmetics. This is the Nude Collection palette. So here's what it looks like. This is the nude one. And this one has never even been touched, guys. So I'm actually going to pass this one along as well on my Poshmark. So not staying. Then I have the Ulta. This is the Matte Neutrals palette. I'm totally keeping this palette for a couple reasons. I actually kind of like the shades in here. And where's it at? There it is. And it has my name in here, guys. Look, right here. It says Tiffany. So it is totally staying in my collection just because of the name, honestly. And it's nice. The shadows are nice. Then I have the Ulta Rose Gold palette. This one's good too. It's not the best, but it's good. I am going to hold on to this one just because I think this will be fun to play with if I want to have playtime with somebody that come over and they just want to play with makeup. Like if my niece wants to sit down and play with makeup or something like that. I'm going to hold on to that one pretty much for her to play with here. Actually, I'm going to give it to her. I'm going to pass it to her. That is it, guys. That is my entire like drugstore, like more affordable type palettes and my declutter. I will go ahead and count each one of these and then I'll insert how many I kept and how many I'm getting rid of. And then as well, I will have my Poshmark link below. So if you're interested in picking any of these up, so if you can just check that out. And then, like I said, they will be super affordable there. I'm not going to try, like, I'm not trying to make money off of this stuff. I just want to go out of my collection and I don't want to throw it away because none of it's bad. It's just that I don't use it. So if I'm not using it, why keep it? And like I said, my new philosophy is quality over quantity. So I want to stop hoarding. I need to stop because I'm going to end up on an episode of TLC's Hoarders for real. So anyway, I'd love to hear what you guys think of this. If this is how you'd like for me to do the more like declutter type series, because I have more things that I need to declutter out of my collection. Let me know what you think of it and whether or not I should continue doing it this way. And also let me know if you're interested in any of the palettes that I'm putting on Poshmark. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I'll catch you guys later.